So when PSG lifted their first Champions League title just a couple months ago, they did become the 8th team in the modern era to complete Europe's ultimate treble. Cup, League, Champions League. So that dominant run to the title got us here on Morning Footy wondering which treble-winning side was the best ever. So with that in mind, here it is, the Treble Winners Tournament. So throughout the week here on Morning Footy, we're gonna pick and choose, and we're gonna eventually get to the championship to decide which treble winner was the best ever. This is a very contentious debate, very opinionated debate, very subjective. We'll see how we get to the end of it. And we're gonna begin with Manchester United 99 and this past PSG side. I got a feeling that PSG's road ends here. It was a lot of love that we were giving them just maybe a week ago before, or 2 weeks ago before they lost handedly to Chelsea. So let me give you guys a little bit so you think about your answer before you commit to one of these two teams. Manchester United only lost 5 games in all competitions throughout the entire season. They did the Charity Shield, in the League Cup, and 3 league matches. They trailed only twice in the UCL semi-final tie, and then trailed in the final. Those were the only times that they trailed in the Champions League. And they scored 80 goals in the Prem, and they won the Prem on the final last match day against Spurs. Phil, PSG on the other hand, I mean, this team was unbelievable. PSG, on the other hand, they allowed 35 goals in their 34 Ligue 1 games, and only Liverpool and Arsenal allowed fewer goals per game in the Champions League. PSG was 0.9 goals allowed per game, and Liverpool was 0.6 and Arsenal 0.7, obviously with less games to play. Hakimi, Mendes, and Marquinhos were all in UEFA's Champions League team of the season, and they scored 168 goals in 65 matches in all comps. Only Barcelona and Bayern Munich scored more.
It's a difficult one. It is really difficult. I mean, when you look at player for player, there's a lot of those players in the PSG that probably would get into that Man United side. But I'm going to go with the Man United team. I think their mental toughness in big games is what got them through, made them win that. And when you look at the final, I mean, the final just speaks for itself. Scoring them 2 late goals was, you know, it was unbelievable. You've got the likes of Roy Keane in there, Jaap Stam, and then Andy Cole and Dwight York, Beckham. That was a great team. I mean,
you made your debut against this team the following season.
Yeah, I made my debut against them. I remember, you know, Gunnar Strachan was the manager, and he read that team out, and I was like, wow, it'll be a tough game today. And then he put me as a starting player, and my hands just broke into sweat. I was like, oh my God, I haven't even prepared properly for this. But they're an amazing side. I mean, Andy Cole, I play golf with him all the time. He's a great player, and he always said that Alex Ferguson is...
He's a great golfer or a great footballer?
I mean, he was a great footballer as well. Actually, Andy Cole was underrated. I mean, he scored 187 goals in Premier League and took 1 penalty.
Yeah, 1 penalty.
1 penalty. But he always says that Alex Ferguson gave them that belief, that mental toughness to go and win. So I think, even though PSG is a better team, I think Man United will be better. All right,
so I clearly know where you lie on this side of the debate, but let's go line for line and decide who wins and who's got the edge in every position. Let's start with the defense. You got Donnarumma and that back line, Peter Schmeichel and this back line. I mean, I leave it to you guys who remember this 99 team. I was 6 years old when this team played.
But you're making us feel old, Nico.
Phil.
Yeah, I mean, I think this PSG team is like so considerably better than this United side. Obviously, there is nostalgia, and if you look at this, they were mentality monsters. They were physical. They were super aggressive as well. And the way that they won the Champions League final, those 2 goals in the last 2 minutes, that just speaks for the mentality. But this PSG team is just on another level. I think football has maybe evolved from 1999 to 2025, 26 years. Look at the fullbacks there. Hakimi and Mendes against Dennis Irwin and Gary Neville. No disrespect to Dennis Irwin and Gary Neville, 2 excellent, brilliant, professional fullbacks. But these guys have taken the art of being a fullback onto a next level. And I just think that underscores how the two teams have changed.
Can I just say as well, back then, you was actually allowed to tackle people. So back then, if you play that PSG team against that Man United team in that era, they got kicked all over the place. They won't fancy. A lot of them players won't fancy it mentally because there are a lot of young players there. But like you said, the game's evolved. If you play in today's game, yeah, I'd say PSG will probably win. But in that era, I don't think so.
Right. It is different. I do think Mendes and Hakimi have taken the concept of fullback to a completely different level. Right. They're bombing in these channels over here. Sorry, director, I completely moved out of the shot. They're running in these like I'm speaking from ignorance because I wasn't watching Manchester United in 1999 week in, week out.
Right,
I don't know how many times.
We're officially
sorry, guys. But I would imagine that the game has evolved to
that strike duo was one of of all time.
Yeah,
York and Cole. The link-up play between those was amazing. Beckham at that point. I mean,
but just the level of physical, the press, they would just swarm this Manchester United side. They wouldn't be able to bring the ball out from the back. They would swarm them.
I didn't take you for being so in love with this PSG team in the modern era, like versus.
You tried to say I'm old. That's basically another way of saying I'm old.
For a little bit more
we just see Chelsea beat them.
We did at the end of a very, very long season, and
So personally, I'm taking the PSG defense. Let's move on to the midfield.
It's a different shape, isn't it? I think we have to take that into account.
Okay.
But I'm definitely taking Roy Keane in there. He's one of the best leaders. I mean, he's underrated as a football player.
You talk about how many games would Roy Keane finish now?
No, hold up.
With yellow cards.
Hold up. Stop. This is how many. We're talking about the bracket for a treble tournament.
Okay.
He needs to just get through to the final.
I think he's getting sent off pretty early on in the tournament. But yeah, I mean,
he didn't make the '99 final because of cards.
Correct. So
I think the game is different now as well. I mean, when you look at Ryan Giggs and David Beckham were just up and down putting crosses in the box for the likes of York and Cole. The game is different. And if you look player for player, then you would probably, like I said, you would go for PSG.
Yeah, and Scholes's not.
Scholes is not there.
You know, he should be in there as well. So
he would
consider. So who would you give the edges in the midfield for? I mean,
I'm going to Man United.
Maybe United. Yeah,
I'm going
maybe
Man
you can give it to
United.
Yeah.
I feel like we really need to check our recency bias here because they were so good. Okay, and then up top
we can give it
with
to
Dembele, Douek, Kvaratskhelia versus Dwight York and Andy Cole.
I'm going Andy Cole and Dwight York.
I'm going for that unbelievable front three of PSG. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know how to
until this season, you wouldn't even mention Dembele as being unbelievable.
But we're talking about now.
We're talking about
you won the treble. This team just won the treble.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but those players there were consistently good.
Yeah, and Luis Enrique has brought out Dembele and elevated him to a world-class level that we hadn't seen consistently throughout the season.
Favorite for Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
Crazy to think that no one won the Ballon d'Or on this team. It ended up being Rivaldo that season that ended up taking it. So, and Barcelona really
he was decent.
But Barcelona as a whole didn't win anything that season.
But Barcelona
United won everything.
Yeah. Barcelona's that team though. You know, when you got a player that's performing at Barcelona, it's almost automatically like the team that everyone loves.
Okay, so I'm in charge of splitting hairs and deciding which attack I'm taking.
Go on, Nico.
I think I'm going to take the PSG side.
Yeah, sorry.
It feels,
biased,
it feels so Gen Z of me to take, because it goes against my football philosophy of being I'm a romantic. I'm a sucker for all of this, but it's like I see this front three, how fluid they are, how different they are, and it's almost enchanting.
Can I say the one thing though? I'd prefer to play against that PSG team as a forward than that Man United team.
You got more space, or what?
I just think it's so much more physical.
You're getting less kicks.
Players going to get really tight to you. Back then, the first 2-3 challenges, you won't get a yellow card for. It doesn't matter where you get tackled. So that's why I think if the game was played in that era.
Yeah. So we got two more categories, coach and intangibles. Let's talk about the manager, Sir Alex Ferguson or Luis Enrique.
There's no question about that.
Yeah,
there's no question.
I agree.
It's Alex Ferguson.
Luis Enrique,
there's no question. It's Alex Ferguson.
Go on. What's the argument?
Okay, first of all, he was super successful. He won everything. He dominated for years and years. He got the best out of players. He got the best out of average players. He brought players in, and then he brought the right coaches in. He evolved with time. When Arsene Wenger came to the Premier League, he had to change the way he was. And I feel like he produced great players that weren't really that great. I mean, look at Nicky Butt. He had a great career, but you wouldn't say he's one of the best midfielders ever. He is unbelievable for me. And, you know, there's no disrespect to Enrique, but definitely Alex Ferguson.
All right, Phil, what's the counter argument here?
I think Luis Enrique is one of the best coaches that we've seen, certainly in my lifetime. What he's done at multiple different clubs, being able to...
Adaptability as well.
Absolutely. To impose a philosophy and to take certain players and players that you didn't think would buy into this philosophy and get the number one best performance out of them. I don't know off the top of my head, but I know he's won the Champions League.
Alex Ferguson won?
Well, how many?
Well, there you go.
Well, I don't know how many. Tell me, because he's won a lot
more. He's won a lot more than Luis Enrique.
Well, because we had a longer career.
He's dominated for about 20 years.
Luis Enrique is going to win more trophies than Sir Alex Ferguson.
He has already the same amount of Champions Leagues.
No chance. He won't win the Champions League this year.
Luis Enrique has 2 Champions Leagues.
Yeah, I know, but
Sir Alex has 2 Champions Leagues.
But I think as a club, he as a club in the Premier League,
he established a culture. He changed. He revolutionized a club like Manchester United, and the amount of dominance that we've never seen it since, and we probably won't ever see it again to that level. Oh, do I have to?
And the Premier League was the best league as well, the best league. Whereas, you know, even though PSG are an amazing side, yes, they've won the Champions League, but this
guy managed to get Ousmane Dembélé to press. And he's getting Ousmane Dembélé to press.
Give him a Ballon d'Or, essentially, right?
Yeah.
We would, if 3 years ago I said Luis Enrique is making Ousmane Dembélé into a Ballon d'Or winner.
Okay, then we can say that Alex Ferguson made Cristiano Ronaldo.
All right, he's got to choose.
For me, just given the longevity of it all, it's Sir Alex Ferguson. I do think Luis Enrique can become that type of manager. And then Intangibles. For me, there's an obvious winner here.
You go first in on this one.
United.
Yeah. Can I tell you something?
They've got much more of an aura. I mean,
even, am I crazy to say that PSG, just given the modern era, would probably win in these categories, maybe coach, but in on the field, I would put the X on the side of PSG. But the Intangibles to United, and United wins the game. And a one-off for our tournament, I think United wins the game.
It's the mental toughness. The mental toughness each and every player has, and that comes from Alex Ferguson as well.
Yeah. I think it's different to compare eras. It's very difficult, but...
I love them boots. I got them at home. Them boots were amazing.
The OG Predators. Man, I do think there is, when you look at this picture, there is an aura. There is a certain level of romanticism that just draws you back. So, sorry, PSG, but the end of the road of your treble-winning season comes to an end here on our tournament, and United 99 is through to the next round.